down in southern Helmand, and on Christmas Eve, while out on the football road, I stood on a landmine and lost both legs and my right arm.
And I'm very pleased to say you're looking extremely fit and well today, although you are struggling a bit with the legs.
Yeah, it's just, I choose not to use a wheelchair anymore. I use the legs full time, and it's quite draining, sometimes. Like, it takes a lot of energy to do it, and I wasn't expecting it to be this hot today. Actually, it was predicted for rain, so didn't expect that. But no, we're getting on with it. We're getting on. We're doing quite well. I think, raising a lot of money. Everyone's been really generous.
Talking to the liaison officer, part of the family. The family's been there for you, Mark.
The family's been there for me since the day I joined the Marines, and they will be until the day I leave the Marines. I mean, until the day I die, and that's what the Marines is about. We are a family. It's more than a job. We look after each other, all the time, and that's what the association is. You never leave the Marines. You just stop deploying with them. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
Mark, great to have you with us here in Clacton, and great to see you looking so well after such a tragic incident at Christmas. Something you will certainly never forget, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the most colourful planes you see at a display anywhere in the UK. The Hunter, known as Flapjack, after pilot Jonathan Flapjack Worley, and I know it's one of your favourite aircraft to look at during air displays, Ray Thilthorpe. Yes, it's like the Spitfire, a classic shape, but this is an advance on the Spitfire shape. Of course, it's swept wing. That's so that the aircraft can fly faster than the speed of sound, so it's supersonic. Jonathan Whaley, the pilot, is an ex-Fleet Air Arm pilot. He runs a little business. He makes the little buttons that go into button-back chairs. But in the spare time, he flies his own Hunter here, colourful. Not the colours that the Royal Air Force used to have in their Mark IV Hunter F4s. Being owned by one or two different people. Look at that colour scheme, you can see it now. Now, Jonathan, being Royal Navy and an extrovert, wanted something which was going to catch the eye. So he thinks this is similar to the re-entry vehicle on the Apollo spacecraft. As it's coming back through into the Earth's atmosphere, it glows like that. So that's what Jonathan says it looks like. Well, I think he was on something when he did that. Running in, man. Here he comes. Well, let's hope he's not on something this afternoon, because he's flying this aircraft, and he goes around the country, in fact around the world, and this aircraft picks up so many accolades, because not only the incredible aircraft that it is, but it's that design. Look at that. Right where on the promenade. Never seen anything quite like it. Classic shape. Classic swept wing fighter of its era. Other aircraft like it were perhaps the more Pacific Net. Similar sort of shape, similar speed, but the shape of the wing, roughly how fast it will go. Of course, we move on now to Typhoon, which is, it almost looks as if it's flying back to front, because it's got a small tailplane at the front of the airplane. But this aircraft, been around, it's very popular on the display circuit now, and the name of the aircraft, Jonathan gives it the name Misdemeanor, or Misdemeanor. Jonathan's call sign is Clacton. Now that stems from the time when he was in the Royal Navy. He flew an airplane called a Sea Vixen, and he was forever using the flap when in dogfights in order to get a tighter turn, and he is always overstressing the flap. By that I mean going faster than the flap would allow, and he would overstress it and bend the aeroplane slightly. His boss got fed up with it. Whaley, go away and learn all about the hydraulic system. So he was the hydraulic system expert on his squadron, hence the nickname Flapjack, because it was a hydraulic flap. And I thought it was because he had a few cakes in his time. But it's got a history of this aircraft, doesn't it? It's coming through here. How about that? Upside down, inverted. Call sign was GPPST, originally built by the Royal Air Force as a Mark F4 XF947 back in 1956. So this aircraft, this style of aircraft, has been around for a long, long time, which still looks really good. Yeah, it's interesting, you just touched on an interesting point there. It's got a civilian call sign, Jeeps. Interpret that whichever way